Welcome to this training, which is, resetting your hormones. This is going to be really powerful for a lot of people because a lot of people don't look at this when it comes to transforming their body or their minds. They look at the external, the weight loss, but the weight loss comes as a byproduct of changing this. And if we change this effectively, it's going to transform your body, not just over the next 12 weeks, 6 months, but for the rest of your life as well. It's going to affect your energy, your mood, your mental clarity. If you struggle with depression and anxiety, it can help with those things as well. So this is really, really powerful. It's something that's often overlooked in the health and fitness industry, but this is one of the fundamentals to get you those results. So what we're going to cover in this quick training is looking at your metabolism, looking at fatigue, and looking at depression, so the mental state of depression that's affected by your hormones. And these are all really, connected, and I'm going to explain that throughout this training. So first of all, looking at balanced hormones. Now, the only hormones we're kind of looking at in this training is testosterone, cortisol, and estrogen. Now, as a man, your testosterone should be naturally high. Your cortisol will be higher in the morning and then drop off throughout the day. And your estrogen should be pretty low. That's the female hormone. We still have estrogen as men and it has its use. But generally speaking, we shouldn't really have, a great deal of estrogen. That being said, for most men, their hormones are flipped. They have high cortisol, not just in the morning, but throughout the day, which affects their sleep. They have high estrogen, so they store body fat around their gut. They store body fat around their chest, so they have those kind of man boobs. They struggle to build muscle, and they have some other issues as well. And their testosterone is low. And we're going to cover why it's important that we reverse this as quickly as possible throughout this training. So first of all, looking at the effects of low testosterone and why we want to reverse this. So one of the biggest things with low testosterone is fatigue. Now, fatigue can also be a symptom of depression. So, these three intertwine massively. And if we can improve our testosterone, it's not just going to, give us a lot more energy and drive, but it can actually reverse the effects of depression as well. So it's really powerful with us taking action on this. Weight gain is a byproduct, again, of having low testosterone. So you're going to store, especially around the stomach, the guts, and the kind of chest area. Men particularly will store more body fat around here when they have higher estrogen and less testosterone. Now, obviously, things like calories are going to play a role in this, but it's so important that we get our hormones in a good state first, because then we're going to build muscle quicker and we're going to lose body fat much quicker than if we just focus on calories solely. Depression. Now, depression is something that can be affected by a lot of things. It can be affected by our emotional state. It can be a mental state, but it can also be affected physically by our hormones as well, by our gut health and by having low testosterone. So in particular, looking at low testosterone, when you feel fatigued all the time, when you can't get out of bed, it can make you feel even more depressed. So you end up in this negative spiral that's really hard to break. So we want to break this as quickly as possible by reversing our hormones and getting our testosterone naturally high. Sex drive tends to disappear in men who have low testosterone. So ideally as men, we should be, waking up with morning wood, right? We should be able to, get hard for our lovers and, be able to have some sort of durability during that as well when we're having sex. Now, for a lot of guys I speak to, it can be uncomfortable talking about this for a lot of men, but it's important that we look at this, because if you don't have that sex drive at all, that's disappeared, you don't want to have sex with your partner, you find you just can't get it up or can't perform for your partner, then this is a serious issue, and it's definitely relating to low testosterone. So it's something that we need to look at and address very quickly. And hair loss as well. This is a particular one, especially if you're a young guy. If you're losing your hair at a young age, then that can be a sign of low testosterone. And, if just like running your hand through your hair, if you find that, you're getting a lot of strands of hair in your hand, then, and you're getting that hair loss, then that can be the early signs of low testosterone. Now, if you have lost all your hair, obviously you can't reverse this, but it's still important that we address your testosterone for the other issues that we talked about as well. So what causes this low testosterone? Like how does this happen in the first place? So the causes are, there's a few different things that can affect this. It can be multiple things. But having excess amounts of body fat, so if you're overweight or obese, then that's naturally going to lower your testosterone. If you have low amounts of strength and muscle mass, so maybe you're just inactive and you don't really do any strength training or resistance training at all. If you have poor quality sleep, so when you sleep, this is actually when you produce all of your testosterone and human growth hormone. So if you're not sleeping well or you're not sleeping long enough, you're not going to produce much testosterone. If you have poor digestive health, so if your digestive health isn't good, if you get bloated a lot, if you have suffer with inflammation or irritable bowel syndrome, these kind of issues, then you're going to have a lot of issues with increasing your testosterone. Lack of red blood cell oxidation. So if you're not doing low steady state exercise, so even things like just going for walks or going for a bike ride, things like yoga as well can be used for this, or swimming. If you're not doing those exercises regularly, then your oxidative rate of your red blood cells is going to reduce. And what that means is the rate at which your body circulates its nutrients is going to be reduced. And how that translates is over time, that's going to help, that's going to have an effect on reducing your testosterone. And lastly is high stress. So if you're stressed all the time, then this is going to have a negative effect on testosterone as well. So what do we need to do? First of all, we need to hit that reset button, and we need to start reversing these effects as quickly and as effectively as possible. Now, what I see a lot of people do is they go on a really restrictive diet that's very low in calories, and they start hitting the gym 5-6 days a week. Now, not only is this counterproductive because we're actually putting too much stress on the body, but you're not doing the fundamentals that are actually going to get you the result, which are things like improving your digestive health. That can be improved very quickly. Improving your sleep, managing your stress. These are all things that you can have an impact on in a matter of days. And then obviously things like strength training, you can start, adding in, but I'd only start with 2 sessions a week for a first few weeks, and then add in, maybe 1-2 at a stretch. So the maximum really is 4 strength sessions. Unless you're an athlete, you don't really need to be training more than 3 days a week. So we need to build those foundations. It's so important that we do this because so many men that I speak to miss the foundations and just try and sprint for the finish line and end up not doing any of the work that actually counts and getting them the result, right? So if we focus on actually the problem, which is the testosterone and the digestive health, then everything else is going to improve, right? You're going to drop body fat much more effectively. You're going to build muscle much more effectively. Your mental state's going to improve. Your energy is going to improve. Your sleep, your sex drive, all of those things we talked about are going to improve. If you focus solely on the weight loss and the restrictions, then what's going to happen is you might lose a bit of weight initially, then you'll hit a plateau, then you'll fall off the wagon and you'll put the weight back on. Except this time, when you back to that same weight that you were initially, your metabolism's dropped, your digestive health's probably dropped, you're probably more stressed, and you probably have lower testosterone than before. So you've actually, taken a step back from doing this diet. And it's not your fault. It's the fault of the diet industry. You're sold these things, these quick fixes all the time. You're sold things from Men's Health, from, Weight Watchers, from paleo diet, from all these different things, these Instagram celebrities that know nothing about nutrition. And it's easy to sell a quick fix. That's why they do it. That's why they sell you into it, because it's a quick fix. And it's important we get these foundations in place to get you those long-term results. That being said, if you do put these foundations in place, you will actually notice results very quickly. So, you can get results quickly with this, but we need to remember that you're in this for the long game and not a quick fix. If you are in this for a quick fix, then I suggest you turn this off because you're in the wrong place, my friend. So what we need to do, these are just some of the testimonials and some of the photos from some of my previous clients. As you can see, in their before photos, all of them have a lot of excess water weight and inflammation. And we managed to turn this around with all of these guys very quickly, just from making these changes to their hormones and their digestive health. So, they were able to build muscle and drop body fat at the same time. They had a lot more energy, a lot more drive, a lot more motivation, and reversed a lot of these negative mental effects as well. So what I want you to relate to is my journey, because, I was a guy who struggled massively with depression, with anxiety. I've had IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, from a young age. And, I'm not somebody who's naturally fit, naturally healthy. I had to do a lot of work to get to where I am today, and I'm by no means perfect, but I'm very happy and confident and healthy in my body right now. So that's the main thing that I want to promote with this. And I want to show you that I have actually been through this myself. You know, I was never a guy that was massively overweight. But back in 2008, when I was 65 kilograms, I had no muscle mass, but had, you know, you can't really see under that t-shirt there, but I had, you know, the man boobs and the gut, and I was just had no self-confidence whatsoever. You know, 2016, I've managed to build quite a lot of muscle, I was a lot healthier, still quite light for my weight, quite light for my height, being, you know, nearly 6 foot. And then 2017, once I've done that groundwork with improving my digestive health and improving my testosterone, I was able to pack on 8 kilograms in a matter of, well, in less than a year. So, you know, those two photos on the right are 6 months apart, and I was actually able to make a huge amount of progress very quickly and naturally, just from putting these foundations in place and actually doing the work correctly. So guys, that being said, if you want to get these long-term results, if you want to finally, you know, break free of this cycle of dieting and then guilt eating and binge eating and never get into where you want to, you know, actually be, where you feel happy in your body and confident in your body, then I have an opportunity for you. So we at the Unshakeable Man, we have a 4-pillar system to getting results, right? And this is why it works, because we don't just focus on one thing. It's not just giving you a strength plan or a nutrition plan. We have smart strength and conditioning that's flexible and fits your lifestyle. So between 2 and 3 sessions a week, which is completely, you know, attainable for everybody. We focus on optimal nutrition, not on restrictive nutrition. So we focus on resetting your hormones from day one, resetting your digestive system, so you're able to digest your food effectively, so you're able to get those results very quickly, but also build upon that. So later down the line, you have a lot more flexibility to actually eat the foods you enjoy whilst getting results. And this means you can get results for life. We have breakthrough mindset coaching. Now, this is one of the biggest things with our coaching. It's built massively around the mindset. So we realize that it's all good having the perfect plan, but if you don't have the motivation and the belief in yourself to follow through on that plan, then you're going to fail. So we're massively big on mindset at Unshakeable Man. And, you know, it's so powerful in getting you a result very quickly, and not just physically, but mentally as well. Like, feeling good about yourself is something you can achieve very quickly with the right coaching. And lastly is unrivaled accountability. We have daily accountability in our groups, in our Facebook groups, and they're so powerful. You know, all the guys in that group are on the same journey as each other. So everybody's picking each other up. Everybody's helping each other out. You know, if people are struggling, there's people there to help them. If people are doing well, that's inspiring everybody else in the group. So everybody's just bouncing off each other and have that accountability to each other each day. And it's an awesome community. It's an awesome movement we've built here. And we'd love you to be a part of it if you're the right fit. We only take on guys who are dedicated to get results, who are committed to make those changes necessary. And therefore, we have an application process. We don't just take on anybody. So if you would like to apply, then what I'd like you to do is just fill out the form below. It'll take you 2 minutes. And then if you're successful, you'll have a call to determine if you're a right fit for our program. But only do this if you're committed to getting results and getting rid of those quick fixes. If you're ready to finally look and feel the way you want to feel and not just run after a quick fix for a few days and then give up, because we're here to give you lifelong results. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking to the few of you that do apply.